I'm excited. It's going to be fun to get back in the humidity and go back down south. They're a really good team, physical guys, and I'm just excited to get back on my coast of the country.
You guys have done this some, but you gear up to start conference play, and then you go back into non-conference play. What's kind of the feeling there?
Yeah, it's different, but like we always just take one game at a time. We always talk about being 1-0, whether it's a conference game or a Memphis out of conference game, and we just keep that our mentality and just keeping it day by day. But so it doesn't affect us too much, but it's definitely different compared to going through conference and knowing that builds to our goal. But we're excited to go out there.
I know you're not a stat guy, you're a total team guy, but still, is it frustrating 4 games in to only have 3 catches, Riley?
I mean, yeah, but at the end of the day, like you said, I'm not focused on stats. If I was solely focused on stats, I wouldn't be here. But I want to do what's best for the team, and I fully believe that God has a plan and purpose for me at Boise State, and that's doing my role. And at the end of the day, I love helping my brothers out, and I just want to win games and win a championship. And I know that I have the ability to make plays in the pass game, but whatever they ask me to do, I'm going to do that. And so I'm just excited to be on the field and just bless every opportunity I do get in the pass game and the run game.
You and Matt looked like you had a lot of action blocking for Ashton. So what were you guys able to do, especially when you were a combo when you lined?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun blocking with Matt. I mean, we're both from Florida, so we always talk about that. But he's a physical dude, and we go out and we have good communication. We have good chemistry on the field together, so we're always communicating and working together. And we always love just breaking open big runs for Ashton, whoever's back there. I mean, even though it's not seen most of the time, we're on the sideline celebrating with each other because we enjoy doing that, and it's just fun, and it's cool to have somebody else in the room that's doing that, and we're just gassing each other up and trying to keep pushing and just being successful in what our role is.
What do you see when you line up together? What do you see the defense do? How do they kind of adjust or not adjust to what that lineup looks like?
Yeah, with the 12 personnel and 2 tight ends go in, there's a lot more pressure most of the time when we face other teams, and they expect a lot from us, and we can do a lot of different things, which is very difficult on a defense. You see us running pound schemes downhill or mid zone, or me and him arcing and doing screen plays. There's just so much that we're capable of doing out of those packages. So it's really cool, and it's definitely hard on defenses to try to defend.
Andy said that's the best game you guys played. A tight end. Would you agree with that about you and Matt?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're just keep building every single day, and it's been awesome seeing how we found success in our role, and we've just been getting more physical as the year goes on, and we talk about pounding the stone every single day, and we're just getting better every day, and Potter's done a great job of helping us out, and we've just fully bought into our role, and I think that's just helped propelled us to be able to block and make big plays like that.
What makes Ashton so good at breaking tackles?
I have no idea. I mean, he's one of the strongest guys on our team, but there's just something electric about him, and you see it in George as well. Both those guys, like, we always talk about finishing plays to the end of the whistle, because we could be blocking and think it's going to be a 2-yard loss, but Ashton's going to break it free, and you have to keep blocking your guy all the way down the field no matter what, because they're just making plays. So I don't know how they do it, some magic, but it's impressive, and I love being able to block and play with those guys.
What was your favorite run going back and watching? What was the one that made you go, damn?
Mine was that the mid zone where he cut it back and he broke a couple tackles, and it wasn't just because Ashton. I mean, he broke a lot of tackles. It was sweet, but like I sent it to Matt because it was legit. Like, our whole offensive line did their job perfectly and pushed them 10 yards off the ball and created a perfect lane. And like we talk about doing our 1/11th all the time, and like that was just so excited to see that the front did their job, and then Ashton, he's going to make plays. You give him some space, he's going to make exciting plays. So that was really cool to see the whole team work together.
Do you think it's sustainable just to keep feeding Ashton, keep running the ball, just pound the rock and do what you guys are doing, or do you guys need to get a little more going in the passing game, you think?
I think it's great to have a balance of both, and we're continuing to work on that every day. We can't just rely on Ashton every single play, but getting George back soon will be awesome for us. But just continuing to build the passing game and just grow in all aspects is going to really help us out. But at the end of the day, we're going to run the ball to win, and if it's working, we're not going to shy about it. So we're going to keep pushing, keep pressing, and definitely try to balance out a little bit, but we're going to do what we do best and keep going.
NIL is not a priority during the season, I get that, but you're really good at doing it. And we're talking on our show today about Ashton and NIL possibilities. It doesn't seem like he has a lot, and maybe it's because he's not as good at selling himself like you are. So, I mean, how do you become good at NIL, and what kind of ideas would you have for Ashton?
I think really it's just buying into the business and getting out in the community. And a lot of people, even though it's been a couple years, a lot of companies don't know how to use the NIL program and utilize players. So coming with ideas is the biggest thing that helped me out. Like not putting it on their plate to try to. They have busy lives and they have a lot of priorities other than helping us. So going and being prepared and going in and feeding them ideas of what can help work and be a beneficial relationship between both of you is, I think, a huge step, and is kind of what happened with Ford. Like Jim didn't know anything about it, and I just brought it to him and tried to teach him about it and how I can help implement some stuff from my aspect. And so it's just building, and Ashton's, he's going to do great in the NIL world. And yeah, like you said, it definitely picks up after season. So he's just focusing on being the best player he is right now. And once the season ends, he's going to have a lot of free time to go out and dabble in all that areas.
Kind of a tangent, but people don't really like to see the punter come out on the field because obviously you guys aren't scoring. But how impressive is what James Ferguson Reynolds is doing this season?
He's amazing, and he's such a good kid too. So it's awesome seeing like all his success on the field. But when obviously we don't want to punt, but when he goes out there, we know that we can change the games on special teams and punt. And we saw it last game. We talked about it. We had to turn the ball over on downs, and we kicked it. We pinned them on their 1 yard line. They went 3 and out, kicked it right back to us, and we had the ball at the 40 yard line. We ended up going down and having a good series. So just little things like that, like it can be overlooked, but he does such a great job in his role and what he does, and it's just exciting to see him on the field. And he celebrates a lot too, so it fires us up, gives us some momentum.
What have you seen from Kalen through 4 games?
He's doing good. I mean, there's always ups and downs in football, and I'm proud of him and how he's handling that. And he's done a great job of leading us and staying confident throughout. And we just tell him at the end of the day, it's football. It's a game you love. Just go out, have fun. And he does that. He always has a smile on his face. And when there's adversity that he faces, he owns up to it and he challenges it, and he does a good job of bouncing back every play. And like you saw last game, he made some huge plays for us, like that 3rd or 4th down where he extended the ball over the line of scrimmage. That game's different if he doesn't get that. So he's just a big playmaker, and I love him. I'm excited to see him continue to grow. And it is early on in the season, and we have a lot more games, and it's going to just keep getting better and better.
One more about Ashton is, we keep talking about his missed tackles or making people miss, but for him to like catch a ball behind the line of scrimmage, routinely turn it into 35 to 50, what is his value to your offense right now?
Yeah, it's game changing. I mean, plays like that, it not only gets us yards, but it's a huge momentum swing. When they think that they have him 5 yards in the backfield and we end up making it a 50-yard plus play for us, then it really is a dagger for them. So it builds momentum for us, and he's one of the guys that also is always just humble and hungry. And I think that helps outside of games. When we see him come in and he's the same guy after having a 200-plus yard game, and he's still trying to learn to get better, and he's humble and hungry, that just challenges everybody's mindset to how can we be like that. And so on and off the field, he's just building momentum for us, and he's just a special guy to be around.
Talking to Andy a little bit, North Dakota, San Diego State, get off to a little bit of a slow start offensively, and you guys figure out your rhythm. He's bringing up like kind of like that opening script, and he puts on the coaches. They got to do a better job putting you guys in position to succeed. For players to say execution, but what do you feel like you guys have to do to start a little faster?
I think it's just consistency in our role. There's a lot of times where it'll just be one person making a mistake or not doing their job, and on offense you have to have all 11 guys bought in or the play's not going to work. So it's just continuous focus on doing your role every single time. And like you said, there can be blame everywhere, but like we're going to take it as players on ourselves to be better and be efficient and effective in whatever play call they make. And really we talk about pounding the stone all the time, and when we're running the ball early in the game and we get 2 or 3 yards, it may not seem like it's a positive play, but later on in the game you see how much that builds up on a defense and starts to make those 40, 50-yard plays because they're getting tired and can't handle it. So early on in the game, obviously we got to be better, but the game is 4 quarters, and we just continue to pound the stone, pound the defense, and they can't keep up is kind of what's been going on. So we'd love to start faster, and I think we're making that an emphasis, and we'll be better in the future.
As you kind of get ready for Saturday, what stood out about the Memphis defense?
Just the way their athleticism and how physical they are, and they just all fight to the ball. They pursue, and they're hard players. So it's going to be a great challenge to go against them. They have an awesome defense that just flies around on the field, and they got a lot of great players, so it's going to be fun to go against them.